What's up, guys? Welcome back to the UFC arena. UFC 265, Derrick Lewis versus Ciryl Gane is coming up, and let's talk about a few fights. I'm gonna start in the prelims, the main event of the prelims, Raphael Physique versus Bobby Green. This is a banger fight, and the person that I really have my eye on here is Raphael Physique. He is by far one of the best prospects at lightweight. This man's striking is nasty, vicious. Like, when you watch this man strike, you can't help but marvel, and you can't help but say, "Ooh, that is next level striking." And he's going against Bobby Green, a tough veteran who's been there, done that, fought the who's who in this division. He won 3 out of his last 4 fights, but he's a win-loss fighter. He's actually 3-3 out of his last 6 fights. And Raphael Physique is one of the best contenders, and I think that if he's as good as the hype suggests, he should have no problem beating Bobby Green. And not just beating him, I think that he'll be able to finish Bobby Green and he'll be able to knock him out, because that man's striking is a thing to behold. Alright, moving on to the main card. The first fight of the night, we have Sonia versus Casey Kenny. This is an interesting fight in the bantamweight division. Both of these guys are coming off losses. Sonia lost to Kyler Phillips in his last fight, and Casey Kenny lost to Dominic Cruz in his last fight. Sonia is a very quick and powerful striker. He's fighting out of Team Alpha Male, which is one of the best camps for bantamweights. Casey Kenny has a grappling background. He grew up doing judo, and he's also done wrestling, so he's a pretty good grappler. His striking is good, but I would definitely say that Sonia has the striking advantage, whereas Casey Kenny probably has the grappling advantage. It would be an interesting fight. When you're from Team Alpha Male, you're known to have good takedown defense, so I think it would be pretty tough for Casey Kenny to get Sonia to the ground, and if it stays on the feet, I favor Sonia. So I'm going to go with Sonia in that fight, and I'm going to say a 3-round decision. Next up, we have Tisha Torres versus Angela Hill, and Angela Hill is one of my favorite fighters. She became one of my favorite fighters after just the amount of heart and the amount of effort that she puts in all her fights. However, she's going up against Tisha Torres, and the tiny tornado is definitely a beast. She's not an easy fight for anyone. Lately, she's had a new mindset where, she's more aggressive and she's going out there for the finish. Her record is 12-5, and out of those 12 wins, she only has 2 finishes. And one of those finishes, her first TKO, came in her last fight, where she made a conscious effort to be aggressive and to go after it, and that was a good showing for her. And I think that would benefit her versus Angela Hill as well, because Angela Hill is usually aggressive. She usually comes forward. I don't think she does as well going backward. I do think it would be pretty hard for Tisha Torres to push Angela Hill backward, but strike for strike, I think this is a very close fight, and I would give Tisha Torres the edge over Angela Hill. Although I like Angela Hill and I like her attitude, I just think that Tisha Torres is a little more technical and she'd be able to win, and I definitely think this would be a decision. I don't see her finishing Angela Hill. So yeah, next up we have Kiesel versus Vicente Luque. This is an interesting one. Grappler versus striker. Vicente Luque does not want to go to the ground with Kiesel, and Kiesel does not want to stay on the feet with Vicente Luque. So who's going to be able to implement their game? Kiesel is a very powerful grappler, and more often than not, he's able to get the fight where he wants to get the fight. Vicente Luque, on the other hand, what I think works in his favor is that he trains with Gilbert Burns. He's trained with Kamaru Usman before, and those guys are powerful grapplers that are able to take you on the ground. In some ways, I would even say that Gilbert Burns is a better version of Kiesel. But what I would say as well is I think Kiesel is able to get the fight to the ground better than Gilbert Burns is. So this would be a tricky one, but I could definitely see Vicente Luque winning this fight. This is one of the closest fights in the card. I just think that Kiesel will be able to get Vicente Luque down, and he's going to be able to win at least 2 rounds like that. I don't necessarily think he's going to finish Vicente Luque. So once again, I think this is going to go to a decision. I'm going to go with Kiesel. Now in the co-main event, we have Jose Aldo versus Pedro Munoz. First of all, Jose Aldo at bantamweight is still a crazy thing to me. Like, I can't believe he used to struggle so much to make 145 and then decided, you know what, because it's so hard to make 145, let me drop 10 more pounds and make 135. And now it's supposedly the best he's ever felt. And he's looked good at bantamweight every single fight, so you definitely can't question it, right? It's just a very interesting thing with Jose Aldo. That being said, Pedro Munoz is a tough test for anybody in this division. And I think this is a pretty even fight as well. A lot of close fights on this card actually. Now the question is, how good is Jose Aldo still? Because if you're telling me prime Jose Aldo versus Pedro Munoz, this would be a no-brainer. This would be easy. I would say Jose Aldo wins that fight all day, every day. However, at this point in Jose Aldo's career, he's still very good, he's still high level, but I don't know if he's better than Pedro Munoz now. I would give Munoz the grappling advantage, but I don't think he'd be able to take down Jose Aldo, and on the feet, I think Aldo has the advantage. However, I think Munoz has a better gas tank than Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo, he does tend to gas out. He has a lot of that fast twitch muscle, so he's very explosive, but he finds it kind of difficult to sustain for 5 rounds, which is why usually when you saw Jose Aldo win over 5 rounds in the past, you'd often see him take a few rounds off. You'd see him coast sometimes. If you don't make him work, he wouldn't work. But this is a 3-round fight, so I think his gas tank should be enough, and I'm going to give the slight edge to Jose Aldo, and I do mean slight edge. So I'm going to say once again Jose Aldo by decision. So far all the fights on the main card, I've said decision. I could be very wrong, and I hope that I'm wrong because I want to see some finishes. Now for the main event, Derrick Lewis versus Ciryl Gane. Now let me just start by saying Derrick Lewis is funny. Derrick Lewis is one of the most entertaining fighters just by his personality. He doesn't even have to try to be funny, the guy's just funny. Ciryl Gane, 9-0, undefeated, has looked excellent in the UFC thus far. A very technical heavyweight, a heavyweight that is very light on his feet. He moves well, and all that being said, I actually think Ciryl Gane is kind of boring, guys. Yeah, like I don't really look forward to seeing him fight after seeing how he fought his last 2 fights. Now, he's definitely highly skilled, and I could appreciate that, but he's not very entertaining. I think Ciryl Gane, for the most part, is going to be able to stay on the outside. He's going to be picking Derrick Lewis apart, and Derrick Lewis, as always, is just going to be waiting, biding his time for that one big shot. And if anybody could get that one big shot, it's Derrick Lewis. He's done it time and time again, and I can't lie, I'm actually kind of backing Derrick Lewis to win this fight, but my mind is telling me Ciryl Gane wins this fight. When it all comes down to it, even Derrick Lewis will tell you he's a street fighter. He doesn't train like how someone like Ciryl Gane trains. He does not have the technique, the striking like someone like Ciryl Gane. However, he does have the great equalizer, which is that right hand or that left hand. So can Derrick Lewis win this fight? Yes, he definitely can, and he could win it late in the fight as well, because he carries his power late through the fight. It could be the 4th round, the 5th round, and I still think Derrick Lewis would be a threat. However, let's not forget who Ciryl Gane used to train with, Francis Ngannou. He's no stranger to scary power, and everybody in the heavyweight division has power. And Ciryl Gane is very good at staying out of danger. He's very good at staying out of range. So I'm going to go with Ciryl Gane in this fight, and I'm going to go by a decision, a 5-round decision. However, I do think there's a slight chance that Gane is able to finish the fight, and I think that would only be if Derrick Lewis gets so tired that he's unable to defend himself properly and he leaves himself open for a big shot. I definitely don't see Gane ending it early. I think Derrick Lewis has the ability to end it early. He has the ability to end it late. So it's a close fight in some regards, but I don't think the striking is very close. So I'm gonna say Gane has a 60% chance of winning, whereas Derrick Lewis has a 40% chance of winning. Anyway guys, that's the end of this video. If you enjoy my content, please remember to like, please remember to subscribe. We're on the road to 300 subscribers, so help your boy out, and I'll see y'all in the next one.